What's up, fam? Welcome to Minicast Monday, the short form podcast that brings inspiring and empowering information, messages, and soundbites from previous episodes to provide that spark or that fire for you to attack your life, to finally attack it, those fears, those insecurities, and those flaws, so that you can live the best life possible as the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Now, for this episode, we're talking about courage and specifically choosing courage over comfort. Now, this idea or this notion or this quote comes from the book Rising Strong, written by Brené Brown. Now, a good example of choosing courage over comfort is this soundbite from episode 7 with Leon Ruri, where Leon speaks about finally having the opportunity to go out to dinner and reconnect with the love of his life, who he'd been broken up with for 3 years at this point, longing to be in contact with her every day. Now, within this moment, he faces the critical choice of choosing courage or choosing comfort. Courage being telling the truth and finally telling the truth, risking losing her forever, or choosing comfort, remaining the deceitful man that he was, but possibly having her back in his life.
I was on a self-development course which really got me to be responsible for the person that I was in every aspect of my life. It had me bring people that I'd hurt in my life, people that I wasn't communicating with powerfully in my life that meant a lot to me. And inside of that, like my relationship with my ex-girlfriend had broken down about 3.5 years, but I still loved her and she was the love of my life. You know, my mind wasn't healthy. The person that I was morally wasn't the best version of me at that time, and she couldn't take it, and we broke up, and I'd always been regretful of it and hurt and wanted her back. And it got to the point where I'd been back in contact with her, and they teach you ways about communicating in life where you don't manipulate, lie, and false outcomes, and you be authentic and create possibility. And I got to the point where she was never going to give me any energy in her life, to where she was ringing me up daily and we were talking to each other daily, and she had known that there'd been a change in me in the way that I listened and the way that I didn't dominate a conversation in an aggressive or way where I'm defending myself. So we had agreed to meet for dinner, and for me that was significant. That was huge, because I, for 2 years I'd wanted every phone call to be her when she phoned. Every time my phone rang, I wished it was her, and it never was, until one day it rang and it was her. And I thought, wow, maybe there's miracles happen. Maybe this is going to be, and we're going to be back together again. And I had all this stuff to tell her, and I've been working on myself, and she expressed the impact that I'd had on her, and then all of a sudden turned around to the point where she said she'd love me, and we were going to meet for dinner. And I thought, wow, I'm going to see her again. Just maybe I'm going to get my dream of being back with her. And then at that time, doing a course that I was on, they challenge you to be responsible for everything that you've caused in life. And a part of my relationship while I was with her was I'd been unfaithful to her. And she didn't know, though. So I didn't tell her, and I was justifying it with, hey, but that was 2 years ago. And that was going back even 3 years ago when it happened. So look, and we haven't been together. There's no reason for me to be able to tell her, and I just don't need to, and all this sort of talk. And my classroom leader, the man running the course, Rob Andari, is a great friend of mine today. He just said to me, you need to be responsible for the human being you're being. And if you want to create this man that you want to be in the world, then you go and be responsible for what you caused. You go and tell her what you did. It was the most significant thing for me in my life at that time, because I loved her. I just, like I say, man, I don't know whether you've been in love that much where you wish that every phone call was the person that you loved. And maybe some people listening to the podcast know that too, and have experienced that, but it was literally every call. So yeah, my heart was a flutter, even though she had said, look, I don't want to be with you, but I'll have dinner with you. Hey, that's enough for me. I can work my charm. I just want to tell her and show her that I'm this different person, and I'm in a different way and whatnot. But I rang her, I said to Rob, man, I can't tell her I'm this close, I've got the love of my life back, and we're going to meet for dinner, man, and I just want to meet her. I've been wanting to see her every day, and he just said, you need to be responsible. It's going to fail anyway. Once you're holding on to something that's not authentic, it's connected to the old way of being. And I was like, oh, man, kidding me, So I rang her and I told her, and I said to her, look, when you first phoned me, you asked me whether I cheated on you, and that I lied to you. And I'm sorry that I lied to you, but I lied to you because I was so scared of losing you again. and I was just happy to be talking to you. But what I told you wasn't true. And what I'm about to tell you, I'm telling you because I love you. And I'm telling you because I don't ever want to lie to you again. And if this means that we never talk again, then so be it. But I just want you to know that I'm doing this so that I can be truthful. And I said to her, while we were together, I was unfaithful to you. And she said to me immediately, I knew. Even though I had never said it to her, she just knew. And then, part of my training on the course was, I said, okay, so what happens when I tell her? And he said, then if she asks who it was with, you tell her. I was like, okay, it's well and truly done then. Like it's effed, to put it nicely, at the first hurdle. But then to have to tell when they ask the question, I mean, it's really gone. And he said, this is the man you're creating yourself to be. You're taking responsibility for everything that you've caused in life. You're not justifying yourself. You're not defending yourself in any way. You're putting your hand up and saying, for whatever reason, at that time in my life, I made that decision. And I will deal with the consequences and the impact of that. So it was the first time in my life, really, with everything on the line that meant the most to me, that I chose to tell the truth. That I chose to be truthful and say to her, hey, this is what I've done. And then I proceeded to tell her what had taken place. And haven't spoken to her since.
Really?
Yeah, haven't spoken to her since at all. But that's a consequence of the decisions and the actions that I made. But one of the things is that I don't have to walk around ever lying to her again. I can look her in the eyes, which is something I couldn't do when I was with her, and have an honest and open conversation with her. Anytime, anywhere, any place. I've never seen her since we've broken up, but hey, this is my journey in life. I love her. I still love her today, and I, that's something that I've grown to just express to as a person, not to cover up and say, hey, because the relationship finished, I don't feel things for her because she rejected me. I'm clear, and that's the way it is.
Now, actually getting to sit down and speak in person with Leon about this really encouraged and empowered me to start becoming, as he says, a man of his word, and really taking ownership of whether I'm choosing that courage over comfort. Now, I've implemented this into my life with things as simple as turning up late to a meeting or to a friend's house, and instead of making up some stupid lie like Kevin Hart and his dear bruh, I'll just be genuine and honest and say, hey, look, I'm sorry I'm late. There is absolutely no excuse. I mismanaged my time, and that is my fault, and I know that is poor, and I'm sorry. It won't happen again. Something Aubrey Marcus says a lot is, there's never been a lie told that hasn't been told in fear. And that is so true. Now, to end this episode, I'm going to read a piece that I really love that I wrote for the Open Up Podcast Facebook page, specifically about this choice we have of choosing courage over comfort. I hope you like it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Have an amazing one, have an amazing week, and please take care of yourselves. Ciao. There will be situations in our lives where we're faced with a tough decision, a decision that we know could alter our lives and the lives of those around us for the better. Often it's a choice between doing what we know is right and what we know is wrong. Intuitively, we know what we need to do, but the fear of judgment, being outcast, repercussions, and so on stems the tide of courage, allowing fear to swell, sending waves of doubt and hesitation crashing over us, whitewashing any intuitive thoughts and feelings that we may have had. This fear tells us that to do nothing and to risk nothing is what we're meant to do. This fear is the part of us that wants to keep things how they are, which is comfortable. But is that really serving you? Whether that decision between right and wrong is reporting sexual abuse, telling someone you've cheated, admitting your addictive habit, or accepting the help you need, choosing to do nothing is choosing to remain comfortable in what it is you know, whether or not what it is you know is safe, toxic, or dangerous. So to anyone struggling with this decision, find it within yourself to see all that you are and all that you can be. Find your worth and your value, summoning the strength and the resilience to choose courage over comfort, because courage is what sets us free, and comfort is what ties us to the life we already lead. Now, only you know whether or not the life you're leading is the life that you want to live for the rest of your days.